Joe Biden once called California the land of dreams, but for many, that dream quickly turns into a harsh reality. Beneath the bright lights and golden sunsets, California struggles with severe challenges. Did you know that the state now has one of the highest poverty rates in the nation? The streets of Los Angeles and San Francisco reveal a tale of rising homelessness, crippling debt, and a cost of living that drives thousands away each year. Living in California is not for the faint of heart. Wildfires threaten homes every summer, water shortages leave communities struggling, and the high cost of living can overwhelm even the most determined. For those drawn to the promise of success, the reality can be a brutal wake-up call. As we uncover the truth behind California's glittering facade, you'll see why many decide that the Golden State isn't the paradise it seems. Before you pack your bags, consider the reasons why California might not be for you. Number 1. High cost of living. California is renowned for its beauty, innovation, and opportunities, but it comes with a price that not everyone can afford. The cost of living in California is among the highest in the nation, making it difficult for many residents to maintain a decent standard of living. Housing is one of the biggest challenges. The median home price in California is over $700,000, more than double the national average. This means that even a modest home in many parts of the state is out of reach for middle-class families. Renters aren't spared either. In cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles, monthly rent can easily surpass $3,000 for a small apartment. For many, this means spending a significant portion of their income just to keep a roof over their heads. Add to this the high cost of groceries, utilities, and transportation, and it becomes clear why so many people struggle to make ends meet. While some residents manage to thrive despite these costs, others are forced to leave the state in search of more affordable living conditions. The dream of living in California often turns into a stressful reality where financial pressure dominates daily life. Number 2. Housing crisis and homelessness. The high cost of living in California has contributed to a severe housing crisis, leading to a significant increase in homelessness. It's a harsh reality that thousands of people face every day. The state's homeless population is the largest in the United States, with over 160,000 people living without a permanent home. In cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco, homeless encampments are common sights, often located just blocks away from luxurious high-rise apartments. This crisis is fueled by a combination of factors, including the lack of affordable housing, mental health issues, and inadequate support systems. Despite efforts by the state to address the problem, the situation continues to worsen. For many, the idea of moving to California to pursue a better life is overshadowed by the fear of ending up on the streets if things don't go as planned. The contrast between wealth and poverty is stark in California, making it one of the most challenging places to live for those who are struggling financially. The state's housing crisis serves as a reminder that the California dream is not accessible to everyone. Number 3. Traffic and congestion. If you've ever driven through Los Angeles during rush hour, you know that traffic in California is no joke. The state is home to some of the most congested roads in the country, with residents spending hours each week stuck in traffic. The daily commute in cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego can be a nightmare, with traffic jams that stretch for miles. This congestion is not only frustrating, but also impacts the quality of life. Long commutes mean less time spent with family and friends, and more stress. Additionally, the constant stop-and-go traffic leads to higher fuel consumption, which adds to the already high cost of living in the state. Public transportation options are available, but they are often limited and inefficient, especially outside of major urban centers. As a result, most Californians rely on their cars, which only adds to the traffic problem. For many, the stress and time lost in traffic are significant drawbacks to living in California. Number 4. Natural disasters. California is a state of stunning natural beauty, but it's also a land of natural disasters. Wildfires, earthquakes, and droughts are part of life here, and they can have devastating consequences. Wildfires in particular have become more frequent and intense in recent years, destroying homes, displacing communities, and costing lives. The state's dry climate and strong winds create the perfect conditions for these fires to spread rapidly. Residents in high-risk areas live with the constant fear that a wildfire could strike at any moment. Even those in urban areas are not entirely safe, as smoke from distant fires can lead to poor air quality and health issues. Earthquakes are another concern. California sits on several major fault lines, and while the state hasn't experienced a catastrophic quake in recent years, the risk is always present. Preparing for an earthquake is a part of life in California, and many residents have emergency kits ready at all times. These natural disasters add to the stress of living in California, making it a challenging environment for those who are not prepared for the risks. Number 5. High taxes. While California offers many benefits, it also comes with a hefty tax burden. The state has some of the highest taxes in the country, including income, sales, and property taxes. For many residents, these taxes are a significant financial strain, especially when combined with the high cost of living. California's income tax rates are among the highest in the nation, with top earners paying over 13% of their income to the state. Even middle-income earners face high tax bills, which can be a shock to those moving from states with lower taxes. Sales taxes in California are also high, with rates that can exceed 10% in some areas. Property taxes, while not the highest in the nation, are still a significant expense, especially given the high property values in the state. For homeowners, this can mean thousands of dollars in taxes each year. These high taxes are a trade-off for the services and benefits that California provides, but for many residents, they are simply too much to bear. The financial burden of taxes, combined with the other challenges of living in California, leads many to question whether the Golden State is truly worth the cost. Number 6. Water shortages. California's water crisis is a serious issue that affects millions of residents every day. The state has been dealing with droughts for years, and the situation is only getting worse. Water is a precious resource in California, and its scarcity has led to stringent water restrictions and conservation measures. In many parts of the state, lawns have turned brown, and residents are forced to limit their water usage. The agricultural industry, which is a vital part of California's economy, is also severely impacted by water shortages. Farmers struggle to maintain their crops, and the lack of water has even led to some farms shutting down altogether. The state's water infrastructure is aging and unable to keep up with the demand, making it difficult to distribute water where it's needed most. In some areas, residents have to rely on bottled water because their local supply is either contaminated or insufficient. For those living in California, the water crisis is a daily reminder of the challenges that come with living in a state that is constantly battling drought. The situation is unlikely to improve anytime soon, and residents must continue to adapt to living with less water. Number 7. Overcrowding. California is the most populous state in the U.S., and this comes with its own set of challenges. Overcrowding is a significant issue in many parts of the state, particularly in urban areas like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego. With so many people living in close proximity, resources are stretched thin, and the quality of life can suffer. Schools are overcrowded, with classrooms often filled beyond capacity. This makes it difficult for teachers to provide individual attention to students and can lead to a decline in the quality of education. Hospitals and healthcare facilities are also overwhelmed, with long wait times and limited availability of services. Public spaces such as parks and beaches are often packed with people, making it hard to find a peaceful spot to relax. The high population density also contributes to traffic congestion, pollution, and the overall strain on infrastructure. For many residents, the constant hustle and bustle can be overwhelming, leading them to seek a quieter, less crowded place to live. Overcrowding is a significant downside to living in California, and it's something that many people find hard to deal with. Number 8. Strict regulations and red tape. California is known for its strict regulations, which can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, these regulations are designed to protect the environment, ensure safety, and maintain high standards for businesses and residents. On the other hand, they can make life more difficult for those trying to navigate the system. For businesses, the regulatory environment in California is one of the most challenging in the country. The state has numerous laws and regulations that govern everything from labor practices to environmental impact. While these regulations are important, they can also be costly and time-consuming to comply with, especially for small businesses. For individuals, the red tape can be frustrating as well. Whether it's obtaining permits, complying with building codes, or dealing with the complex tax system, the bureaucracy in California is notorious for being slow and cumbersome. This can make even simple tasks feel like a major hassle. For many people, the strict regulations and red tape are a significant downside to living in California. They add to the stress and complexity of life in the state, making it less appealing for those who prefer a simpler, more straightforward lifestyle. Number 9, income inequality. California is a state of contrasts, and nowhere is this more evident than in the stark income inequality that exists throughout the state. On one end of the spectrum, you have Silicon Valley, home to some of the wealthiest people in the world. On the other end, you have neighborhoods where families struggle to afford basic necessities. The gap between the rich and the poor in California is one of the widest in the nation. While the state is home to a significant number of billionaires, it also has one of the highest poverty rates. This disparity is evident in the cost of housing, access to education, and availability of healthcare. In many parts of the state, particularly in urban areas, the wealthy live in gated communities with luxurious homes, while just a few miles away, people are living in poverty, struggling to survive. This income inequality creates a social divide that can be difficult to overcome, leading to feelings of resentment and frustration among those who are less fortunate. For many residents, the reality of income inequality in California is a daily reminder of the challenges they face. It's a state where the American dream is alive for some, but out of reach for many others. Number 10, declining quality of life. All of these challenges, high costs, housing crises, traffic congestion, natural disasters, and income inequality, contribute to a declining quality of life for many California residents. While the state still offers incredible opportunities and a vibrant culture, the reality is that life in California can be difficult and stressful. Many longtime residents are finding that the quality of life in California is not what it used to be. The constant pressure to keep up with the high cost of living, the fear of natural disasters, and the everyday struggles of living in a crowded and expensive state have led many to reconsider their decision to stay. As a result, California has seen a significant outflow of residents in recent years. People are leaving the state in search of a better quality of life elsewhere, in places where the cost of living is lower, the pace of life is slower, and the challenges are fewer. For those who remain, the Golden State still holds its appeal, but the question remains, is it worth the cost? The declining quality of life in California is a sobering reality that many residents are facing, making it clear that the state isn't for everyone. California may be a land of opportunity, but it comes with its fair share of challenges that aren't for everyone. If you're considering making the Golden State your home, it's crucial to weigh these realities carefully. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on the real stories behind some of the most talked about places. Your support helps us bring you more content that matters. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.